Good morning, everybody, and thank you for being here. I'm Joe Van Doren with our Virtues Pick for today. And somehow or another, I think we're going to have a lot of drop frames because I don't know, the internet's just not working well here today. So let's just take a look at our word that came up. And I know I'm on bright and early this morning, and the reason we've got to take our dog to the vet this morning, and we're in Tennessee, and so we're an hour behind everybody on the East Coast and an hour or two ahead of everyone on the West Coast. So it's good to be here no matter what. So our word, though, today is cooperation. And so let's just take a look at that and read the description. So cooperation is working together for the good of all. It is the willingness to stand side by side and use the different gifts each of us has to offer. We seek common goals in service of a unified vision. We blend our abilities to create something none of us could achieve alone. Conflict and contention drain us. Cooperation can fuel our dreams. With cooperation, we help one another to share the load. We willingly do tasks that others ask of us. We look for ways to be helpful and ask for help when we need it. We do not isolate or harbor our loneliness. Together, we accomplish greater things. I think this word is just so awesome because for no other reason, the one of the things that parents bring to us on a regular basis is that they just want more cooperation from their kids. And what they really mean is not so much about cooperation, but it's about obedience. And so really trying to understand this word cooperation and the virtue and what it looks like and how it's practiced is critical to having more peacefulness in the house, right? And so it really is about partnership. It's about unity. It's about understanding each other's feelings and needs. And I think this is an area that we all continue to grow in because we're basically interested in our own health and safety and our own happiness and success, right? So, but when we decide that others have gifts that they can offer, when we decide that others are have talents and abilities and things that they can contribute to the creation and the co-creation, let's say, of bigger and better things. That's when we really begin to enjoy life, I think, as a whole, and not just being off by ourselves and trying to do things by ourselves. When we are establishing that relationship with others so that we're working with for a common goal where we're looking to accomplish something bigger than anything that we could possibly do ourselves, that's when we really begin to enjoy life. And this certainly applies to parenting. So as I think about parenting and cooperation, first I think that cooperation is our ability to recognize that our children have their own unique personality, temperament, and such. And yes, we want all of that to work together, and we're going to work towards that goal. But how do we do that? How do we gain that cooperation? Well, sometimes it's hard when all we're really looking for is obedience because the other person has their own free will. And so looking at what are the gifts that they have and how can we incorporate them and how can we work together. And I think it begins with this idea of clarity of what is our purpose as a family, clarity of why are we a family, clarity about what is it that we want to be known for as a family and then also as individuals. And then when we can establish that, then we can really establish how we're going to communicate with each other and how we're going to work together, how we can divide these things up. So one of the ways that we do this is by creating and having family meetings on a regular basis, and not just when there's a major issue or major problem in the family, right? So a lot of times, we have this feeling that we're going to sit down and solve a problem, and but if we've never established those relationships ahead of time, like when times are good, when things are going well, then no one has built up the trust and that's needed to really develop that cooperation. So cooperation is based on respect for each other. It's based on our building of relationships first, and that includes even with our children, I think. So we blend those things, those are our abilities together, and when we sit down in a family meeting, we begin with positive things. We begin thinking about what is it that has happened that's been good. What is it that I see in you that I really appreciate? How am I appreciating the virtues that you have inside of you already and that you've been displaying? And then what virtues do we need as a family to develop so that we can work together in unity? That's what cooperation is all about. And when we do that, then the conflict that might come up, and it's going to come up. It's normal. It's a regular thing. Conflict is a demonstration, really, of the things that we want and the things that we don't want. And we recognize the things that we don't like when conflict occurs, right? So, that's a great starting point of where we're going to go. So those are my thoughts today about cooperation, and I have a lot on my mind today about our little puppy dog. It's not a puppy anymore. She's pretty old. We wish we knew how old she was, but so I look forward to seeing everyone tomorrow morning, maybe at the more regular time. And I'll be thinking a little bit more clearly, but today let's cooperate with one another. Let's find ways to unify. Let's find ways to share the responsibilities and the needs of each other so that we build each other up. All right, everybody, until next time, keep practicing the virtues and the 4 C's of successful families, and that is clarity, communication, consistency, and community. Until next time.